All right, then. Tony, can I have a motion to open the meeting?
I make a motion to open the meeting.
Okay, do we have anybody for public speak? Nope. I'm going to continue the approval of the February meetings because I haven't had a chance to look at them.
Sorry.
So we'll continue that to the next meeting.
Okay.
And I'd now like to open the public hearing for Hyson Auto Repair, the application for a Class 2 dealership license.
Yep, and you guys should have received the application and packet in when I sent you the licensing packet last week.
Yes.
Okay, great.
There's nobody here to answer any questions?
Looks like Jeremy Eisen is here. Jeremy?
Okay. And there he is. Hi, Jeremy. I just opened the public hearing for your application for a Class 2 dealership license.
Okay.
You just want to talk to us a little bit about it?
Just I have a bunch of customers who are always asking me to look over used cars they're buying, and figured give it a shot at having an opportunity to sell them used cars myself.
Okay. All right. And you're located in Industrial Way?
5 Industrial Parkway.
Okay. I didn't have any questions. Tony, did you have any questions?
Nope, I'm all set.
Jeremy, did you check with Barbara, the city clerk, about a business permit at all?
Right. No.
No more. We have.
No, you didn't check, or no, you didn't need one?
No, we didn't check, I don't believe,
Okay.
in handling that stuff.
Who's going to take care of that? Because you do need a business license.
My office secretary will. I believe we have one for
That's what I would think.
the repair, right?
Yeah, that's right. I thought you got, if you had, I remember we had this conversation when you were looking into signage over a year ago. So I wasn't sure if you had that. If you have that, then you're all set with her.
I'm pretty sure we had that. I know I did it the last place I was renting, so I'm sure we did moved here.
If you guys have one, if you could send me a copy or send the clerk an email and just CC me on that, that would be great.
Okay.
All right, and if not, sorry, hi. You said it was Barbara?
Yes.
Okay.
And I can shoot you guys her email if you need it. It's also on the city website.
Okay, perfect.
Lindsay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Can you, Stan can't log on. He needs the link that he has. It's not letting him log on. Could you resend it to him, please? Or I might be able to. Okay, I think I sent it to him.
Okay. I
Sorry,
sent you
everyone.
an email again.
So Jeremy, you just need to get that. But Tony, I don't have any other issues, just if it's contingent upon him getting the business certificate. Do you have anything else, Tony?
Nope.
So I will send you guys the license to sign through DocuSign. Jeremy, once they have signed that, then I can either mail it to you or drop it off to your business, whatever you prefer.
Okay.
Okay, Tony, can I have a motion to approve the application?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the application license for the car sales.
And I'll be processing
I
that check
second
tonight.
that. What? I'm sorry, Lynn's what?
Sorry, I'm letting Jeremy know that the check will be processed tonight, tomorrow.
All in favor? Aye. Lindsay, Stan needs you to let him in. Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're all set.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
You too.
You too. Lindsay, did you let Stan in? He's waiting for you.
You know what? I don't have my video on. Sorry. There you go.
There we go.
Hi, Stan.
Hello.
Okay, now let's open up the public hearing for River Valley Co-op application for an all alcohol package store license. Is it beer and wine only, or it's all liquor?
It's all liquor.
Oh, okay. Okay, go ahead.
Tom, you're on mute.
I think that works a little bit better. Thanks. So I'm Tom Miranda, attorney, one of the attorneys for River Valley Market. And this is an application for an all alcoholic package store license. There's a fair amount of background that will go into this that I'm happy to explain in as much detail as you'd like. And if we get into too much detail, you can, just say, you've heard enough and I'll move on. And I'll try to take it, step by step. We did go for the all alcoholic license because Rochelle has thought that they will be doing some specialty spirits, craft spirits from local producers and distributors, and would have the ability to show those in the store. It's not intended for a large display of spirits, the vodkas, bourbon dries, et cetera. It's primarily focused on the spirits of local producers, and then of course the beer and the wine. The corporate structure for River Valley Market LLC will be the license holder, and it's a limited liability company with one member, and the member is the Northampton Community Cooperative Market, Inc., which is the entity in which all the members of the co-op belong. And so the corporation is the sole member of the LLC. Rochelle is the manager of the LLC. And in addition to the corporation and River Valley Market LLC, we have RVP Properties LLC, which is the owner of the real estate located on Northampton Street. Again, the Northampton Community Cooperative Market is the only member of the real estate holding company. The Rochelle is will be the manager under the alcohol beverage license. Because the cooperative is a corporation with a change of membership all the time, when we first licensed the premises up in Northampton,
Hey, Tom, can I interrupt you 1 second? I have a question that I was thinking of this as we're moving forward here. We might have to talk to the city solicitor. One of the members sells at River Valley, is a vendor there. And then myself and another member are owners in shares there. We all may have conflicts here, and I didn't think about that.
We don't have financial gain in it, though, which is where the conflict would come in, I believe. So because
but we
don't
do.
have-
No,
I think we do.
I will. That's where I was going with the explanation of the corporate structure and how it works.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, but, yeah, and
Continue
then
on.
we can revisit your question in a moment. So because of the nature of the cooperative, we have a number of members, and as members, you have certain benefits from the shopping that you do at the market in the form of some form of credits on a yearly basis. To avoid the possibility or the concept that members of Northampton Community Cooperative Market, Inc. have a financial interest in the license, the ABCC agreed, we developed this scheme whereby the bylaws of the of the Northampton, of the corporation parent, have explicit provisions that no individual member will receive any credits for any of the alcohol purchases that they make at the business. So you do not have a quote unquote financial interest in the license itself. We also have a provision in the bylaws that no member of the cooperative is able to purchase any of the alcoholic beverages at a price different than what is sold to the general public. So the general public gets the same price and the same benefits from the sale of the alcohol as the cooperative members do, thereby taking that financial interest concept out of the equation when you have to determine who has a quote financial interest in the license. Because as you know, every time there's a change in financial interest in the license, you have to apply to the ABCC to approve the new individual, and that would just be totally impossible with the type of structure that the co-op has. So we developed that protocol, and in conjunction with that, what we do have to report to the ABCC periodically is whenever there's a change in either the officers or directors of the parent corporation. And so on a regular basis, Rochelle and myself, we've gone into Northampton when there's been a change in the board of directors, and we've notified the ABCC that there's a change in the board of directors. We do all the applications, the query forms, et cetera. And the ABCC then is satisfied that we're keeping them informed as to who has control over the license. Does that help to address your concern?
Yes, yes, very much so. Thank you.
Okay. And it was something that it took several months going back and forth to come up with something, because the ABCC understood, well, this is something that doesn't fall within any specified category of the statutes that talk about, we're more akin to a public corporation, such as like a Papa John's or somebody else, a large corporation publicly traded, than we are to a mom and pop type of operation. And so that was something that we worked out, and it's been going on, what is it now, Rochelle, 15 years approximately?
It'll be 13 on April 30th.
Yeah. And so that's the way we've been doing that. And so that sort of dovetails, because of the nature of the cooperative, that dovetails into the financing of this whole project, which if you've gone through the application, it's a lengthy application that lists, I think, 16 different lenders that have nationwide that have contributed to various aspects of this financing. And all of that financing was to the entity that owns the real estate, the other LLC. However, River Valley Market LLC, our licensed applicant here, is a quote-unquote guarantor of those promissory notes and those obligations of their sister LLC, the real estate holding company.
Okay.
Okay, and what I've given you the first page of each promissory note and the signature page of each promissory note, because if you had taken the total of each promissory note, you would have had over 1,000 pages of just the nature of the promissory note. But the first page tells who the debtor is, and of course the signature page shows that, and the amount of the loan, et cetera. And the signature page shows who has actually signed, who in fact was Rochelle, because she is also the manager of that LLC.
Now, speaking to the paperwork, though, I spoke to Lindsay after she gave it to us to review, and there were missing addresses and things that needed to be changed. Did you resubmit your paperwork?
Yes, we resubmitted a second package, and I think that we satisfied that in.
Yeah. So sorry to interject here. I thought that I had sent you guys over the second application they had sent in with the corrected information.
I didn't see it, Lynn.
Okay, that should have been in the packet I sent over, but maybe I rescanned the same one, and I owe you guys their new information.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but as long as it's been addressed, that's fine by me.
Yeah, it was corrected to reflect the 228 Northampton Street. Is that what you're talking about? They had originally listed Florence on everything.
And then on some of the individuals' addresses, they only had a street address. They didn't have the towns.
Yeah, so we
For
on
the
that second page for Gary, Emily, Abby, and Wendy, we only have a street address, not an actual town.
And Lindsay, which section of the application was that under? If you could help me, please.
Yeah, sure. Addendum A, section 6.
Section 6.
And it also lists the entity name as Northampton Community Co-op Market, which
that is the member of the River Valley Market LLC. And those individuals are the directors of the Northampton Community Cooperative Market, Inc. And so those are the individuals that we identify with to the ABC as having overall control of the licensee. And let's see. Addendum. Are you looking at addendum A, proposed?
officer stock or ownership interest continued.
I have addresses, is that approximately 8 or 10 pages in?
My application is going to look different than how you sent it to me because I had to organize it by how the ABCC needs it.
Okay.
So it's this page here where you list all the ownership.
Yes.
Anyone with ownership and interest in it.
Yes, I'm looking at my copy on my system, and is the first name Gary Schaefer, Emily Lane? Yeah,
Yes.
I do have his address, social security number, date of birth.
Well, the address is just Elm Street. What town?
Oh, I see.
No towns or cities are listed on their addresses.
Okay, I see what I did. I'll supplement that.
Okay, resend me that page.
Yeah, I'll do that when we finish here.
Okay.
I never picked up on that. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
No, and those are the things I find all the time. So I knew the ABC would kick that back just for
Yeah.
towns.
Okay, so I thought that I would give you the overall picture of what I think the legal aspects of it that might be a little bit more complex. Happy to explain anything that I am able to, or anything else that you like. But I believe Rochelle would like to walk you through the premises itself, give you an idea of what it's going to look like on the inside, how the displays, how the security is going to be set up, et cetera. Are you ready for that, Rochelle?
Yes, do I have permission to share screen?
You don't, but let me figure out how to add you to that.
Thank you. And I think I didn't introduce myself officially. I'm Rochelle Prunty. I'm the general manager for River Valley Co-op, Northampton Community Cooperative Market, Inc., and RBC Properties, LLC.
I think I have to make you a co-host, Rochelle, so let's do that. Okay. Do you have the ability now that you're a co-host?
Yes. Can you see this?
Yep.
Yes.
I make it a little bigger, I think. So this is a outline of the store floor plan looking down from the top. If you can see my cursor down here at the bottom of the page, that's basically parallel with Northampton Street. And the right-hand side of the page over here is roughly parallel with Lyman Street. And the left side over here is where the parking lot would be. And the entrance is down here. So this shows the whole store, including the backroom space. And this is the entry where you come in from the parking lot out here. And you get your cart and you go in here into the produce department. And then we've highlighted the wine and beer and spirits section. So in green here, this is wine shelving, and we thought we would dedicate one section probably to the spirits. Those are, I think, 4-foot sections of shelving that go around the corner here. This is the cheese department, which is low profile in the center, and the same staff that deal with wine and beer and bread deal with the cheese. So they'll be able to see people in the department and get in and out and to help them. This is a 16-foot beer cooler. We'll probably have 1 or 2 doors with wine in it as well, but most of it will be devoted to beer. And this little wedge piece is a little bit of floor display space, for maybe some case stacks. And there's one more little spot that we plan on, which is right here at this end cap for wine or beer specials displays. So that's pretty much the retail area for beer and wine. If you go down this next aisle is the bulk department, and the next is grocery and some more grocery. I skipped back here, I skipped the wellness, like health and beauty aids, vitamin supplements was back here. And then you get over here into the dairy department. This is more dairy cases. Down here, you see the refrigerator doors. These are frozen doors on this side. Meat and seafood department in this corner over here, prepared foods over in this corner. This is the kitchen, and here's the checkout. And then here would be the exit to go back out into the parking lot. In the back room, or in the other feature we have here is deli seating area in here, and a community room for meetings, classes, internal, external. When it's busy during lunch, we can use this as overflow seating for the inside. And then there's a doorway that goes out to a patio outside here all along Northampton Street, from in front of Captain Jack's all the way up to the front of the store for additional kind of outdoor seating. Got some restrooms. This hallway here takes you to the offices, break room, and an emergency exit right here. To get into the back room from inside the store, there's a doorway here and a doorway here. And the loading dock is back here, so the deliveries come in through here. There's 2 overhead garage doors there and there. There's a walk-in door right here. There's sort of a foyer, kind of a bit of an airlock to keep the air at a good temperature right there. And then you come into this main back room. There's a spot right here where we have kind of a locked enclosure, like a cage, and we have U-boats with product stored on them that we can roll in and out of here and keep it locked up. And then when they want to stock it, they can bring it down this hallway and right out in here to stock. So refrigerate. This is a walk-in freezer, walk-in cheese cooler, walk-in produce cooler, produce prep back room here. We've got our server room and point of sale, and also a workspace for our receiver back here. This is all storage, dairy walk-in here. 2 restrooms, a janitor's closet. There's a hallway down here that goes to more walk-in coolers, smoker for the meat room, walk-in freezer, and walk-in cooler right here for the prepared foods department. And then this is the kitchen. This outside stuff, this is electrical and sprinkler room, accessible for service from the outside. And we have the HVAC accessible from the outside back here. So I think that pretty much shows you all the entrances, exits, about how much room in the store we expect to devote to this product category and where it will be.
Is there outdoor seating also?
There's outdoor seating out here along Northampton Street.
So somebody can go in and buy something and take it outside and eat outside, correct?
Yes. We, I think we have maybe about 50 seats inside, and of course that's post-COVID, and post-COVID outside, closer to 200 places to sit if it was all packed.
And how are you going to monitor, though, that somebody purchases beer, they're not going to go outside and drink it?
I'm not sure how that works with your DBA, or not your DBA, your BYOB. regulations, but we'll be,
That's kind of a sticky thing, because you're an off-premise license. Correct, Lindsay? That's what
Yeah,
the
so it's
license is?
it's going to be a section 15 license, which is a package store off premise. So people won't be able to drink on premise.
and is the premises the building only?
And the outside.
And the
portion.
outdoor.
It's also the outdoor.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we deal with that in Northampton. And if people buy their lunch, if they go through the register, if we see that they have beer, we remind them at the point of sale that they can't consume alcohol on the premises. And then we have staff going out here regularly to clean tables, to bus, to and they'll be monitoring, picking up trash, they'll be monitoring things throughout the day.
I have a quick question. When Captain Jack's goes back, you guys are sharing that eating space outside?
Yeah, it's all shared space.
Okay. I'm just trying to think
What's
of any
Lindsay, what are you
problems.
thinking?
Well, I just want to make sure that people aren't getting alcohol inside, getting Jack's and sitting in that shared space and thinking that they can drink.
Correct. They can't go out there and drink on the patio their Captain Jack's food with a beer from in there.
I just think that there's maybe should be signage included in the eating space that alcohol is not permitted.
That's easy to do.
And I would leave that in the purview of the board, but that would be my suggestion. Just, it's going to be tasking on staff on both ends of Captain Jack's and River Valley Market to reiterate that, you know, there's no drinking on premise.
Mhm.
So I would suggest signage, but I'll defer to the board.
No, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, because you're right. If
You know, I could go
if they're
and
not
grab my
if they're
lobster
not
roll.
bringing it from the
Yeah.
store, we can't catch them at the point of sale. So
Right. I just don't know. I wouldn't want grab my lobster roll and look up and say, hey, let me just run in and grab a beer and come out, and God forbid one of your staff forgot to mention it for any reason and they go out and they think because it's a shared space. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think if I've learned something in the pandemic is that there are loopholes across the board in every situation. And I think it would be wise to, CYOA and make sure nothing happens.
And the Captain
Yeah,
Jack's also has an understanding.
Yeah, I think it's going to be important to fill them in too on the importance of not drinking on premises.
I think we were misinformed that the BYOB would be allowed outside. So, but we will go by the state laws. So that's no problem.
Thanks.
Yeah, BYOB is more in regards to, if you wanted to allow them to drink inside, I believe that, but that would also be, you wouldn't be able to have a liquor license. Anyone who wants to have BYOB cannot have a liquor license.
Right.
So
That's why
any
you can
shop on
have
Cottage Street, any shop on Cottage Street could say, we're having an indoor event today, BYOB, and come shop. They can do that because they don't have a liquor license. But
Got
you
it.
can't be a liquor license holder and allow BYOB. So I apologize if I didn't make that clear in any of our conversations.
It's fine. It's the way that we've operated in Northampton for 13 years.
Okay.
And so we have events and things outside, and we don't.
Yeah, it's up to each city to create ordinances and regulations around BYOB. And right now, my understanding is that Easthampton follows the state guideline, which is if you have BYOB, you can't have a liquor license.
That's correct, Lindsay. But if you wanted to do something like a wine tasting or something out there, you could get a one-day permit. If
Great.
you were doing something like your grand opening or something like that, and they wanted to be pouring out on the patio or something like that, you could get a one-day permit.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. We like those events. So that'll be wonderful.
Yeah, you can have up to, I think, Kelly, 30 a year, special 1 days attached to your license. And you just follow the same due process here. You'd have to apply, come to the board prior to the event, get approval. So.
Did you say 30?
Yeah, you can have up to 30 a year.
Wow, that's a lot. Okay. Thank you.
And also real quick, sorry, I'm not, the site plan that you're sharing on your screen, maybe I'm missing it in the packet, but Tom, I'm not seeing that in the packet either. And we're going to need that to send it to the ABCC.
No, we have it.
You do?
I have it. Yeah, so it's in the packet.
Okay, then I must not be seeing
It
it.
was in
I'm
the
sorry.
original packet.
Well, we
Okay.
gave you one in the second packet also. The original was not colored, but the one that we put in the second packet was colored like this, was easier to read.
Then I'm really losing my sight. I apologize. I will double check for it.
I believe you'll find it, I believe, at the end of the lease.
Okay.
Rochelle, can you talk about the management of the premises and Lisa DeBoer and her role and who she is and how you deal with your staff, please?
Sure. Should I stop sharing now on this? Or do you want me to leave this up?
I think we've seen it.
Thank
There
you.
we go. Back to regular. So sure, Tom asked me to talk about the management of the store, and we've had our liquor license, as you know, for 13 years as of April 30th, Northampton, and we haven't had any issues. We do. We have a store manager named Lisa DeBoer. She will be working as a store manager in Easthampton. So we'll have a highly experienced store manager all the time in Easthampton. She is a ServSafe certified trainer. And so she's developed training, I think, for all of our cashiers, the front end customer service staff, the wine and beer staff, and the managers that are, we call them managers on duty, so that we cover every hour that the store has staff in it. We have a manager that's in charge of store operations. So all of those people are all trained on the alcohol awareness training, which is very, it's not the tips exactly, but it's covers all the same material. I understand we'll need to do tips for our Easthampton staff instead of the ServSafe alcohol training, and that's fine. We'll do that too, but we have 170 employees currently, and 55 of them have had the alcohol awareness training because their roles are either at checkout or customer service or overall store management duties. So that's the type of supervision that we're expecting and planning for in the Easthampton store, which we expect to open. We're wavering between the 16th of June and the 24th of June. We haven't hired all the staff for that, obviously, yet. And I'll also be splitting some of my time between both stores. Lisa also will be supervising a store manager in the Northampton store that will take over for her duties there in the same way. Any questions?
No, I have none. I think you've answered everything really well.
We, Rochelle, you had a question about tip certification.
Yes, we've been using the ServSafe alcohol awareness, but we've looked at it. We think it covers the same information. So we're happy to do, just as happy to do tips as the serve safe.
Lindsay, I don't have an issue with either one. They basically cover the same things.
Okay, so
The
I'll just,
certification for either one is fine.
so I will need that submitted to me, whoever has tips certification or serve safe certification per approval of the board.
Yes. And I'm imagining that you, like, will be hiring most of those people in June, some of the managers in mid-May.
Send me whoever you have now. If you have one, send me yours. That way the ABCC has it, because you need one on staff at all times.
Okay.
Okay. So that way we can at least submit the application with whoever you have currently. And then as you hire people and they have it, send that in to me for our files.
Great. And you don't care whether it's the serve safe or the tips for this
No,
one?
which a certification from either one is fine.
Okay, thank you.
So to recap, I owe you the addendum sheet with the full address. Is there anything else that you need from us along with the names of the employees?
The addendum to the addresses and then the serve safe, a copy of whoever has serve safe currently. That's
Okay.
all I have. Kelly, did you need
Any
to
other
do
questions?
on-site visit or is the site plan submitted?
I think the site plan that's been submitted is good. I would like to see the signage that's put up out on the outdoor patio. But I don't think we should hold up the license for that.
Yeah.
It would be conditional
Okay.
that it is posted before opening. Tony, anything else?
No, I just, I don't have any problem with what the market's doing here. I think the problem is gonna come from Captain Jack's, because people that go there are used to bringing beverages with them. And I don't know, I guess he'd have to post signs saying that that's no longer allowed.
Yeah.
I've never been to Captain Jack's, but I do see that he has a very large following when I drive by. I never thought of that people do bring their own alcohol there because they're eating outside on a picnic table.
I didn't know they currently did any BYOB.
Yeah, they do, and I think we were misinformed that we could be a licensed premises of the store, physical store itself, and that outside would not be licensed, and therefore it would be okay. So, that will be, obviously it's not an adjustment for us because we're used to it, but that will be an adjustment for Captain Jack's. So that's that will be a disappointment to them.
Yeah, or they'd have to have a separate seating area that's kept separate from your seating area.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where they fit into this design that you showed us, where Captain Jack's is actually going to be compared to the building, as far as seating. It would be in the lower, it's right out here, like in this corner is his standalone facility, right there. Okay.
So it's right where it exists now. The building comes up pretty close to it, like right in this area. And so the seating comes across this whole area. And then we have shared parking here. And he's got a couple of disabled parking spaces in a driveway that comes behind here, and a couple of parking spaces along the driveway for back here for takeout. But most customers will be parking out here in the main parking lot. So, I mean, I think if he's pretty resourceful, if setting up a separate seating area, you know, in some way, we can deal with you know, he can work with whoever he needs to make that happen if that's something that he wants and you're open to.
Yeah, I just, you know, the more I think about it, I don't, you know, I'm going shopping with my family. I don't want to see a bunch of people out having a great Saturday afternoon drinking beer and, you know, having their food right there if I'm walking by to go do my grocery shopping. I can see that there could be some conflicts here with people that are used to going to Captain Jack's and doing whatever they like and having new rules and regulations in here.
Michelle,
So,
is it?
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Is it possible on the west side, the north side of your building, to have segregated seating? And is that if in other words, up over here along Lyman Street area, is there enough room over there to have some segregated seating if someone wants to have a beverage with their Captain Jack's food?
So that was originally my idea as we were just walking through this, but it's still a part of the licensed premises. Because I was thinking, why don't we just say like these two tables reserved for Captain Jack's? But it's still a part of the premises. So if the ABCC, if an investigator from the ABCC stopped by and there was drinking on the licensed premises, that goes against your license.
And they consider your parking lot, the area that you're leasing, that's all your licensed premise there. That's where the conflict comes in, you know, the problem.
Yeah, we're leasing the whole property.
Yeah.
I'm throwing out suggestions if the board, the commission is amenable to this concept. If you revised your lease and your lease excluded that area on the north side of your building, and that was leased separately by the real estate company to Captain Jack's. And so it would not be part of the premises that River Valley LLC, the licensee, controlled.
If that would be possible, but
I mean,
given that Northampton Community Cooperative Market owns both.
You guys own the
As a lawyer,
shack
I'm
now
looking
too?
for, I'm looking for technicalities as a way around this. If the commission is amenable to it, we could perhaps look at that as an option.
The only thing that I'm thinking of right now is Captain Jack's would have a separate seating area that would be fenced in. That is probably the only way the ABCC would allow that your leased area to Captain Jack's has a fenced-in area that keeps the Captain Jack's customers in that area. Then they could go in, they could purchase something in your store and go and open it and be in that fenced-in area, enclosed area that is Captain Jack's. That's probably the only way that they would allow it, because that's a leased, that part of your premises is leased totally with the area enclosed for the seating.
I mean, another thing to think about, I do see that they have some type of alcohol truck next to their truck that they have on the lot at Cernak right now. I don't know if he has plans to open that at some point. It might be worth having a conversation with him, a good neighbor conversation, say, what are your plans for alcohol? Because if he's going to go forward and purchase a license himself, then he can do an application that includes grounds for outside drinking, and he can do an all alcohol restaurant license. Right? Kelly, I'm not sure.
That would only be on his leased premise once again, and because all of his people eat outside, it would have to have a fence
The
around.
fenced-in area, right? But I would hate to see, Rochelle and River Valley go through all these hoops to then have, I think it's Steve, right? Turn around and say, well, I'm gonna get an all alcohol license or something like that, to that effect, I don't know what his plans are for once he goes back to that space.
Yeah, somebody's got to have a conversation with Jack.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. I mean, I say, like, maybe the board can do some type of approval on the condition of, or we hold off on approving this until that conversation happens.
Can I
He
make a
has,
suggestion?
just FYI, he has let me know that he doesn't want to start his business on site until November 1st. So we plan to open
June.
in June. He's not planning to open until November 1st. So we've got some time to
How's he
work
gonna-
out.
I'm confused. How is he doing that? Because he's never open during the winter. He shuts down for the winter.
Yeah, I think he's going to try to stay open. Being associated with the store and having more people coming and going for takeout.
But is he
I think
thinking
takeout
that
is a
people
big
are
part
going
of his
to-
business.
But is he also thinking, does he have permission for people to buy food at his stand and then go into your building to eat it? In the indoor seating?
Yes.
Okay, so then they can't have alcohol. There's no way around that.
Well,
They can't
that's,
go
yeah,
into the building.
that was really clear from the beginning. Yeah. But I think takeout is a really big part of his business.
That is.
And that was what he was thinking.
No, that's
Not as
absolutely
much as
fine.
summertime, but So what I'm saying is we've got some time to figure out what will work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Because
think you
he's
should go
just doing
forward.
food prep on site right now and not serving.
Yeah, I definitely, I don't see this holding up your license at all, but I think everybody has to be very clear with him. I don't want him having any expectations that it's not going to be what he thinks at this point, that people can go in and buy alcohol in your store and come out and sit on the patio and eat his food on the patio. So that needs to be addressed right away. I don't want that to become something after it becomes a problem.
Right.
And, definitely he can come before the board and talk to us. We're open to ideas. But as Lindsay was saying before, being that you have an all alcohol off-premise license, there can't be drinking on your premise there. He would have to separate his premise out, with a fenced-in area.
Yeah, so Kelly,
Understood.
do you want to move forward and say approved on the condition of signage, or do you want to wait to get everything back?
What do the other members feel? Tony, Stan?
I mean, I'm okay with approving it. I think, like I said, at some point, somebody's going to have to talk to Jack about it. But that's as long as it's posted, that there's signage, alcohol is not allowed outside, then I don't see where there's a problem there.
I'll send him an email tonight that lets him know that that this issue came up. We knew that it was possible, and we definitely had the shared understanding that we were going to have a license to sell retail, and if that ever became a problem, that we would have to deal with it.
Rochelle, if you need any help explaining any of this, I'm happy to sit on a Zoom with you guys or be included in those emails and to help clarify anything that comes up.
Oh, thank you. Sure, that'd be helpful.
Okay.
Okay, with no other questions, and Stan, are you going to recuse yourself?
Yeah, I don't think that I need to. I'm not going to benefit financially from the sale of alcohol.
Yeah.
So I don't think I need to, and I'm fine with approving this. And Captain Jack's just sounds like it's going to be a separate issue. That they're going to have to find another way to deal with that, and whether that means that they're going to have to get their own license or, like you said, a fenced off area to meet the ABC, so that the state's okay with it, then that's fine.
Okay. Then could we have a motion, please, with those conditions that we've talked about?
The only condition that we have is the signage, correct? Okay, so I'll put for a motion to approve the license with the understanding that there's going to be a signage put up with no alcohol outside.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank
Just
you.
writing this down, sorry. Okay, thanks.
Great.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
So Rochelle, and Tom, once I get all that stuff back from you guys, the amended form, the serve safe, and what you propose for signage, then I will finish filling out the application, get the board's signatures, and send it off to the ABCC.
Okay.
Okay?
Great.
Yep.
Great. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you for your help, Lindsay.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Lindsay, there's no special one-day applications, correct?
Nope.
All right. Chris Rogers, we're ready for your update.
Okay, I'm here. Good evening, board. Not too much to report this time. We are still in the process of going through the zoning board, and they have said at the last meeting that they will make a final determination on April 28th as to passing the variance or the special permit. There were some conditions to be met, and I think we've met those conditions, and we will be awaiting a determination on that. After that, we will revisit the Conservation Commission, only because we had to change the specs of the parking lot a little bit, but I don't foresee any, there was no major changes, so I don't expect anything to be complicated there or have any issues with that. It's just a matter of being reapproved with the new parking design. And then I'm currently working on financing again. Things seem to be getting back to normal, although I did talk to Greenfield Savings Bank, who's my bank, and they are still a little nervous. So we're proceeding as much as we can with them at this point. I don't really have anything else other than I've been clearing a lot, and it's about 85% clear right now.
How much cleared is it?
About 85% of the area that we're using, not the area down the hill.
Okay. And you've been through the Conservation Commission, you've got your DEP number and stuff?
They gave us the approval. And then we went to the zoning board and the zoning board, like I said, we had to make some changes on the parking, so we notified conservation board that we would have to revisit them on that. And I did talk to Cassie over there about, what I could do on the property. So what I've done was approved.
Okay.
Do you have?
All right, so right
your
now
meeting
you're just
dates?
waiting for your zoning board approval, correct?
Yes.
All right, we'll see you at the next meeting.
Okay, Lindsay, did you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, did you have dates? Are you on the next Concom and zoning meeting agendas?
We're on the next zoning board agenda, and we will be on the Concom agenda after that, which I believe comes early the following month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think you'll have an update for May?
Yes, I absolutely do. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Those meetings will happen before our next meeting?
The zoning board will happen. I'm not sure about the Concom.
Okay.
But I can send you an email on that prior.
Yeah, because I
Zoning
mean,
board meeting will definitely happen, and we should have a
okay.
determination. That's what I've been told. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll see you next month.
Thank you.
Lindsay, what is the A to Z LLC license corrections?
I spelled Amy's name wrong. So I have to correct her name. She wants that corrected. She did question the times that I had on the application or on the license. I'm sorry. It's the time that I have on all package store licenses because it was my understanding of what Easthampton allowed for sales.
I don't know, who is this?
We just approved their license for the takeover of All Star Dairy on Northampton Street.
Valley Farms?
Yeah.
Valley Farms?
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the time on it?
I'm going to pull that up right now. It's what I have on all package store licenses. So let me see. So 9 a.m. to 11 p.m., Monday through Saturday, and Sundays 10 a.m. to 11 p.m.
What does she want?
She thought that it was, I guess, 8 a.m.,
On Sundays?
8 to 11 on all days. Yeah.
I don't know that answer.
Okay.
I mean, they can have it if it's okay with the ABCC. There are statutes
Yeah.
that I can look up.
Okay. If so, I'll need to change that for
Originally-
all.
What were the Sunday hours that they have?
I have 10 to
what?
11, and then the rest of the
Okay.
week 9 to 11.
All right, I can check on that and get back to you.
Thanks. So I'll just have to correct her license name, but I'll wait until we have hours of service squared away, and then I'll have you guys sign off on that. And I told her I'll get her a copy once we have all that.
Okay. I'll have an answer for you tomorrow.
Okay.
And the last thing on the agenda is Cottage Street Motors follow-up.
So last we met with the board, I was going to talk with them, make sure, serve them a cease and desist to give them another notice. It doesn't sound like they want to attend a Zoom meeting. They just want their license processed. They don't think they need to come before the board. So it's up to the board how they want me to move forward.
Do any of the other members know anybody at Cottage Street Motors?
I don't.
So Lindsay, I don't know if everybody knows what the issue really is.
So
You wanna fill everybody in?
Yeah, I filled the board in last time, but essentially they sent me their application late after we approved applications back in December. So they are technically considered a new license. I reached out to them. I spoke to a woman in December and January, invited them to board meetings twice. I was told the woman there said they would attend. They didn't show up to our January meeting. I have since reached out by phone many times. I finally connected with the owner maybe about 2 weeks ago, and he said, you know, this is how I've always done it, 30 something years. I sent in my application before January 1, you approve it, that's it. I shouldn't need to come before the board. And so I tried to explain the timeline process about that, you know, we start in September, October, get everything in and approved, and then their license is effective for January 1, but they need to be at the December meeting. I need their information by that meeting. And there's a little bit of bumping heads about our processes versus what they're willing to do. And that's that. I still don't have an application. I don't have
How
payment.
does Dan, Tony, how do you feel about this?
Well, if she doesn't have an application, what can you do? You can't.
Right. I mean, at this point, he doesn't have a license, so I know he can't buy cars at a used auction, a
The
car auction.
auctions are aware that they don't have a license because they've called me several times.
So he's eventually going to have to come to you again and ask for a license.
Yeah.
And I think it just needs to be explained to him that he's no different than anybody else and that he needs to come to a meeting. If he doesn't have a computer, he can call in on his telephone.
Okay.
But it's just not fair that, you know, that he is not complying with what everybody else has to comply with. Stan and Tony, do you feel the same way?
Yes, definitely.
Mhm.
So I mean, if the board's okay, I've reached out every month since September, left messages.
No,
talked to them
he's
in person.
eventually going to have to come to you because he's going to need to buy a used car at an auction. So yeah, I would just let it be.
Okay.
And, you know, he's eventually going to have to come looking for it. And then he's going to have to put on the agenda.
Okay.
Do you have any other new business for us?
I don't. That's it
Okay,
for a change. Yeah.
very well. Can I have a motion to close the meeting?
Do you want to set next meeting date first?
Oh, we could do that.
So we would be scheduled, we always meet the first Monday of the month. And I really have trouble with that because that's the time my partner always works and we still are on daycare wait list until November. So I can do the second or fourth week of the month. That first and third is really hard for me without childcare. Unless we did it earlier in the day and maybe I could find a sitter, but.
The 10th is okay for me.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that.
Dan?
That's fine. 10th is good.
Thank you.
Okay, so May 10th at 5 o'clock.
Thanks. You guys are awesome. Appreciate it.
Okay, Lynn, I'll get that answer for you though about the times and I'll get that to you tomorrow.
Awesome.
Thanks, everyone.
Wait,
Thank
Have a good
motion.
night.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Yeah, good night.
Aye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.